Good afternoon, everyone. As we are continuing with the wrist and hand complex mechanics, yesterday we were talking about the what are the movement and what are the ligaments we have to do the movement into the metacarpal joint as well as the metacarpophalangeal joint and carpometacarpal joint, and we're also talking about the dorsal plate. So today we will talk about the volar plate, which is also known as the palmar plate. Now, what is the function of the volar plate? So it will increase the congruency into the joint, and second, it will also provide the stability into the metacarpophalangeal joint. And because of that, as they are providing the stability to the metacarpophalangeal joint, so due to that they will so, so due to that the volar plate also limits the hyperextension of the metacarpophalangeal joint. Now it also provides the indirect support into the longitudinal arch of the uh, into the palmar. This is all about the function of the volar plate. Now second is volar plate is made up of the fibrocartilage and which is firmly attached to the base of the proximal phalanx. So it is so the volar plate is mainly attached with the proximal phalanx, base of the proximal phalanx, and it is made up of the cartilage. Second, it becomes membrane. It also contains the membranous proximally to blend with the volar capsule at the metacarpal head. So this is all about the volar plate. So during the MCP extension, the plate the volar plate will add the amount of the surface in contact with the large metacarpal. So during the metacarpophalangeal joint extension, the volar plate the volar plate surface will be attached will be come into the contact with the metacarpal head, and during the extension of the metacarpophalangeal joint. So now, as the fibrocartilage as the fibrocartilage composes as the fibrocartilage composition resists both tensile stresses as well as the compressive forces. So the fibrocartilage of the volar plates will help help to resist volar plate the fibrocartilage of the volar plate will help to resist the tensile stress as well as the compressive forces. So as it resists the tensile stresses, so due to that the metacarpophalangeal hyperextension will be limited, and as it is compressive the forces as it is compressive the forces, it will protect the metacarpal head as well from the object held in a it will protect the metacarpal head from the object that we were holding in a palm. So it is about the extension. So during section, it will glide the proximally. So it will prevent the pinching of the long flexor tendon in the metacarpophalangeal joint. So volar plate will glides proximally during the flexion. So due to that, the long flexor tendons which are situated which are situated near the MCP joint, so it will prevent the pinching of this tendon into the metacarpophalangeal joint. Now it also blends with an interconnected superficial by deep transverse metacarpal ligament. So internally it is internally it is interconnected with the deep as superficial and the deep transverse metacarpal ligament. Second thing is it has volar plate is also stabilized by the dorsal as well as the deep transverse metacarpal ligament. Second is collateral ligament. So volar plate is done. So into the collateral ligament, the radial and the other collateral ligament of the metacarpophalangeal joint are composed of the two parts. So radial and other collateral ligament, which is composed with the two parts. First is collateral ligament, which is collateral ligament. Second is accessory collateral. It is also as into the radial side it is known as the radial collateral ligament, and ulnar side it is known as the ulnar collateral ligament. So as the tension will create into the collateral ligament at full metacarpophalangeal joint flexion, and it is known as the closed back position. So it will limit the MCP abduction in a full flexion. So as we are doing full flexion of the metacarpophalangeal joint, so during this collateral ligament will limit the MCP joint flexion, MCP joint abduction. Okay. So during the full metacarpophalangeal joint flexion, this collateral ligament will go into the tensile into the taut position. So during this moment, it will limit the metacarpophalangeal joint into the it will limit the metacarpophalangeal joint's abduction into the full flexion position. I hope you understand. And the second, it is also provides the stability throughout the metacarpophalangeal joint range of motion. Second is range of motion. As we had done the collateral ligaments, second is range of motion. So as each joint, the range of motion will be varied. So during flexion and extension, increase radially to the ulnary with it is increases radially to ulnary with index finger and little finger. So what happens? Range of motion of each joint is different. As some researchers suggested that range of motion of each joint, if it is the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, or little finger, it is varies in all joints. It is varies in different all joints in a different position. So as we are going to radially to ulnar side, so radially it is this flexion extension moment is less in compared to ulnar side. So as if we are doing the index finger flexion extension, as we are doing the index finger flexion extension, it is 90 degrees. As we are doing the flexion extension of the little joint, little finger, so it is more in compare with the index finger, which is in little finger it is 110 degree, and in uh, index finger it is 90 degree. So this is all about the range of motion in each joint, in each joint. So next is hyperextension. Sorry. So what happened into hyperextension? So hyperextension, which is consistent between fingers but varies among the individuals. So it is in all finger it is consistent, but it is varies among individuals. मतलब it is different in individuals. So range of passive hyperextension is used to assess flexibility. So as we are checking the flexibility of our fingers, so we are mostly doing this. So so we can say that ki passive hyperextension is mainly we are doing to assess the flexibility of the muscle. Second is abduction and adduction is maximal in metacarpophalangeal joint extension and restricted in flexion. So as we are doing the extension, so at that time as we are doing the extension as we are doing the extension of the MCP joint, so during this the abduction and adduction of this MCP joint, which is maximal in compared to flexion. So during flexion we cannot measure abduction and adduction of this MCP joint, and it is also restricted during the flexion position, so we cannot measure during the flexion position. So now next is interphalangeal joint of the finger, which is interphalangeal. Here it is. So this is the proximal interphalangeal joint, and this is the distal interphalangeal joint that we will talk into the next lecture. Thank you.